Official figures put the number of Section 21s issued between May and June of this year at around 7,500, up 35% over last year. I actually believe that these are nowhere near the true figures. Although unconfirmed from various different landlord forums, I believe that the true figure is actually in the hundreds of thousands, and by the end of this year will be many hundreds of thousands, if not over 1 million, as desperate landlords try to exit the market before the ridiculous landlord or Renters Reform Act is implemented, if of course it ever is. I have gone through the Renters Reform Act already. I really don't believe it will help anybody in the long term, and already this catastrophic housing policy has caused so many problems. Even though we surprisingly are not in a recession, recent figures indicated that our growth was 0.2%, which does unfortunately increase the chances that interest rates will be raised next time by 0.25%, but that will probably be it. But on a positive side, it's showing just how robust our economy is, but it is nevertheless basically skirting along the bottom and just treading water. And of course, there are many businesses that are struggling or shedding staff or certainly not taking staff on. And this is a time where people need to be able to move with their job. They may live in one part of the country and they may find a job that suits them in a different part of the country. But what do they do if they can't rent a home? This is the very reason that the assured short hold tenancy was introduced in 1988, so that the UK could have a modern, fluid workforce that could move around wherever the work may be. Obviously, over the years, the government did nothing to incrementally improve things, protect tenants, and at the same time ensure that landlords became more and more professional and everybody would be happy. This situation is not helping anyone. Landlords are exiting the market. Tenants can't find a home. And yes, we are seeing an increase in institutional investors, but they are not the type of properties or the type of agreements that will be available for people who need to move from one part of the country to another for a year or two. So the problem remains. At the moment, thanks to the incompetence of the current government and previous administrations, we are probably in the worst post-war housing crisis, with the exception of the immediate years after the war, when there were so many properties that were damaged because of the war. But since then, I believe that this is the worst it could have possibly been, and all of this could have been avoided. So once again, I know I'm repeating myself about the Renters Reform Act, but the longer it hangs in the balance, the longer we are in limbo, the more landlords are exiting the market. This indecisiveness, this incompetence is destroying our economy, and it is basically making the most vulnerable of people suffer the most because they're bearing the brunt of it. There would have been nothing wrong with actually gradually improving the rental housing stock, ensuring that tenants are protected, ensuring that landlords were also protected, and that should have been addressing issues through the legal process. Now the courts are backed up at least 9 months, if not a year, and that leaves everybody in limbo. And there are many landlords out there whose outgoings are greater than their income, and the volume of arrears in the buy-to-let sector is at the highest ever, and it's rising at an alarming rate, and this is not good for anyone. Basically, setting landlords against tenants and vice versa hasn't really worked. It hasn't achieved anything apart from destroying the private rental sector and allowing the large corporations to step in and make inroads and gradually take control of everything, and that will not be to anybody's advantage whatsoever. I just thought I would share these thoughts with you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.